Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a pretty big problem within the Ninjago community and regarding how the Ninjago series is being distributed in the modern day. Now, over the past couple of years, we've seen a pretty big change within the Ninjago storyline itself and in terms of how it's actually being pushed outwards to the fan base. That, of course, is having Ninjago's storyline that we see from the Ninjago TV series be accompanied by a series of canon novels and canon comic books. Certain Ninjago books, such as the Spinjitzu Brothers series or even the Garmadon solo comic series, those two book series are confirmed to be canon to the actual Ninjago storyline, taking place in between certain events of the show and adding extra context to those Ninjago fans that want it. What was ideal about those storylines, though, is that they were not necessary for Ninjago fans to understand the entire storyline. The Spinjitzu Brothers books were a nice look as to what Ninjago was like before the ninja's time, featuring a young Master Wu and Garmadon traveling together, while the Garmadon solo comic followed Garmadon's solo adventures following Ninjago March of the Oni and setting up what he would become in Ninjago Crystallized. Like I said, these two book series, while canon, were not necessary for the Ninjago TV show fans to understand the show. And while these two series of books are actually confirmed to be canon, like I said, the average Ninjago fan did not need to read them in order to understand the Ninjago TV series. The show itself establishes a lot of backstory for Wu and Garmadon, and also had a flashback featuring Garmadon in Ninjago Crystallized, therefore establishing context for those fans that have not read the books. However, the problem arises with the upcoming Ninjago book known as The Quest for the Lost Powers, which is another one of these confirmed to be canon books, except this time the book is seemingly necessary for Ninjago fans to understand the storyline. The book itself is set to explain where the ninja are following the loss of their powers in Ninjago Crystallized, and what exactly they are doing after the season had wrapped up. And more importantly, and most concerningly, the book will establish how the ninja get their powers back venturing into the Ninjago 2023 or Ninjago United series. That's where a lot of Ninjago fans start to have some concerns, myself included. See, a lot of people assume that now that these Ninjago books are now a necessity to read as Ninjago fans to understand the entire storyline, Ninjago itself is just getting too complex for its own good. And in the past, Ninjago has never been a simplistic show. Ninjago has a lot of twists and turns along the way, and since Ninjago has several seasons under its belt, I imagine the series to be pretty intimidating for anybody interested in actually starting up the Ninjago TV show for themselves and trying to become a fan of Ninjago. But now, Ninjago fans literally have extra homework. Not only do you have the entirety of the Ninjago TV show to follow, along with several specials and spin-offs, you also have a plethora of Ninjago books to read as well. While Spinjitzu Brothers and the Garmadon solo comic previously were not considered necessary to every Ninjago fan, this new Quest for the Lost Powers book most definitely is. And it's one thing to watch episodes of a TV show, it's another thing entirely to locate, buy, and read a book that, for all intents and purposes, is actually pretty major to the Ninjago storyline. Not only will the book be exploring how the ninja get their powers back entering into Ninjago's 2023 series, the book will also be exploring certain events of the ninja's past, including the Ice Emperor storyline for Zane, of course following Zane's trauma after he was the Ice Emperor for more time than he was a ninja. And also, like I said, it's going to be exploring where the ninja are following Ninjago Crystallized, meaning the whereabouts of Kai, Nia, Cole, etc. All of those storylines will be explored in this book. And it seems like for Ninjago fans, it's kind of necessary to read this book before venturing into Ninjago's 2023 series. And objectively, this kind of hurts everybody here. For new Ninjago fans, it's going to be even harder to get into the already complicated TV show, especially now that you have to read books to understand the entire context of the show. I can see why people would be turned away from that idea. And likewise for Ninjago fans that have been watching the show for quite some time, they might feel turned away from this book because previously the books were not necessary. This one most definitely seems to be. I've seen people say that Ninjago is not being treated with respect by having its canon actually established in books alongside the TV show, and honestly I don't necessarily agree with that. If anything, I feel like Ninjago fans are kind of being disrespected here, because now not only are we expected to follow the actual TV show, we're also expected to follow the books as well, which were previously not necessary. In terms of my personal thoughts on this entire debacle, I'm honestly not against reading. I know it might have sounded like I'm kind of anti-book in this video. That is not the case. I have a book collection myself. I do enjoy reading, and I find it exciting that Ninjago's world does expand beyond the show. I've previously read and reviewed all of Spinjitzu Brothers and all of the Garmadon solo comic, and recommended both extensively. I think that if you're a Ninjago fan, exploring more of that canon outside of the show is always a good bonus, but like I said in the video itself here, I can see where the problem arises with this new book, The Quest for the Lost Powers. Because previously Ninjago books were not considered to be necessary, even though I would totally recommend you guys read Spinjitzu Brothers and the Garmadon solo comic. This new book, yeah, it pretty much seems like you need to read it in order to understand the Ninjago TV show, which in my opinion is not really a good thing. I feel like the show should do enough to establish its own context without needing to expand outwards towards books. While it's always awesome to see a bonus book on the side that is canon, that offers Ninjago fans that want something extra, a little bit of an extra bonus story, I think it crosses the line when they try to make it a necessity. With The Quest for the Lost Powers, it literally explains a major part of the Ninjago series without the show even having to explain it. Now, I feel like with Ninjago United or the Ninjago 2023 series, I feel like that series in and of itself will explain how the ninja got their powers back, at least to some degree. It probably won't be as expansive, nor will it probably be in that great of detail compared to the books, but still, the show could very well explain what the books are establishing. But in order to get that full context, in order to get the full experience, Ninjago fans do need to read a book. The story itself should be contained within the medium that primarily defines the series. For Ninjago, that'll most definitely be the Ninjago TV series. I know that Ninjago also is a line of toys at the end of the day, let's be real, but still, the Ninjago TV show establishes the context of the show, establishes the overall content of the story. To have books on the side is awesome, but to have the book be necessary for Ninjago fans to understand the show, like I said, that's kind of where Ninjago crosses the line for me. Now, the question still arises, will this lead to the downfall of Ninjago in general? Honestly, I don't think this problem is severe enough to state that Ninjago is confirmed to be going on a downward spiral here, but I can see how for a lot of Ninjago fans, this just might be too much for them. And maybe they will leave the Ninjago series to explore a new series, or a new LEGO theme in general, one that's a little bit more simplistic, and one that's a little bit more tightly wound, if that makes sense. I don't think that this will necessarily call for the death of Ninjago or anything like that, but I feel like it's definitely not helping the Ninjago series, especially following Ninjago Crystallized, which already had a pretty mixed reception among Ninjago fans. I feel like this will only stir the pot even further, and not necessarily unite Ninjago fans together, which is ironic considering that Ninjago's 2023 story, at the moment, is called Ninjago United. If anything, the Ninjago community seems even more divided by this, but of course, with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. I just wanted to make this discussion quick, just to ask you guys if Ninjago truly is on a downward spiral, especially now that you need to read the books in order to understand the full canon of the show, while previously it was not really necessary but optional. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. Feel free to let me know all of your thoughts regarding this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I had fun making it, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you guys did, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.